Hello， 大家好，歡迎收睇 Co-op， 我係你嘅節目主持人pei.yau。
Hello， 大家好，我係 Scale。Hello， 大家好，我係 Music。
係啦 ，Music 同 Scale 都而家個鏡頭角度好似有啲問題，好似高啲，好似好，喂平翻啲好睇啲。試下先啊！咁樣會唔會好啲啊？咁樣會好睇啲啦，咁樣好睇啲啦。好啦，係啦 ，Music 同 Scale 啊，今晚做主持啦。Hello 阿明啦 ，Hello Victor，Hello 阿任生 ，Hello 小辣星 ，Hello Eric 啊，Hello 大家好啊。係咁咧就呢隻 game 咧叫史丹利的寓言，係啊突發啊安，係啊突發。咁啊呢隻 game 叫史丹利的寓言，咁就係Music 同 Scale 係想玩嘅一隻 game。咁你又玩住先啦 ，Scale 揀啦，揀語言啦，個字幕嘅語言。你係要英文係咪？
係。
好。
點 Enter？
應該撳 A 咯，應該 A 係 confirm 咯。
喂，等一陣先。哦。
跟住移落去 confirm 咯，係啊。
冇。
係啊，問你有冇玩過係嘛
Oh, please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible.
即係咩啊？
就係佢話。
你要翻譯㗎啦，同你講咗㗎啦。如果你玩英文，就要翻譯俾觀眾聽。
調整嘅 slider 就係調整呢個嘢
哦。
A computer is barely visible. 哦。
係咪緊睇到個 computer 係嘛嘢？
係啊。
得啦。
咁樣。
跟住移落去，跟住撳 A 啊。係啊。
Please enter the current time。我要 set 佢幾點？
你係咪講而家幾點啊？
係啊，而家。
下午9:37。
喂。
係啦。
37。
係啦，37分而家係。
37A。
38咯，冇所謂啦，爭1分鐘唔緊要，爭1分鐘啫。係啊。
即係accessibility settings could be adjusted。哦。
咁 OK 啦。Hello Donald， 好在心有靈犀望下個 YouTube。
仲有啊，爸爸，其實嗰個頭先嗰個好重要㗎，其實嗰個設定人就係睇佢電腦。
電腦做咩啊？係喎，好可愛喎。等陣先啊。我要教翻你哋個樣先啊。
The end is never the end is never the end。我聽唔到喎。
冇聲嘅，點解？
冇聲嘅。
有啦。
Stanley 員工就係佢嘅工好簡單，佢就係喺個 office 入面喺度撳下掣咋，跟住個電腦話俾佢知係點撳啊啲係撳就係撳幾長啊嗰啲，跟住好多人就係啲人會覺得好就係撳下會好無聊，不過佢覺得好舒服，跟住佢做呢份工好開心。不過有一日有一個奇怪嘅事發生，就係有啲嘢會改變 Stanley， 有啲嘢佢會唔記得，就係佢坐喺度1個鐘，跟住電腦都冇俾佢 order， 跟住冇人call 一個 meeting 定係講 hello 都冇，跟住佢好耐喺呢個 company， 佢呢個嘢都冇發生過，跟住Stanley 呆咗1個鐘都冇嘢發生啊，跟住佢regain 咗 senses 之後，佢就由佢個 office 行出去，可以喐啦。 你睇下我哋係員工427啊，各位。
OK， 啊，算你都幾叻喎，翻譯得幾快啊！你係咪做過功課嚟㗎？有冇啊？
你
有冇做過功課啊？即係你有冇？你係咪自己睇過少少㗎？
係啊。我哋閂唔閂門啊？我哋閂唔到門㗎。哦。冇人喎，發生咗咩事咧？跟住 Stanley 想去嗰個 meeting room， 可能佢淨係 touch everything in this room。誒，佢咁細先啊 ！touch all the doors。
Please, are you really just doing this for the achievement? Touch the door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, no.
佢話係咪淨係成咗先至玩門啫？跟住佢話
嗱 music 啊，如果你笑嘅時候你離開支咪笑，因為你一笑嘅時候就太大聲啦，爆咪啦。你一知道自己要笑嘅時候，你就褪開你個人，即係你褪後，唔好控埋支咪度，因為你自己聽到自己把聲噶嘛，係咪？
就係佢話佢話唔可以俾我成就，因為太簡單，所以佢叫我撳個門20次。
哦，咁你撳佢門20次啊
佢話仲唔夠啊，跟住佢話叫我撳食50次。
咩 game 嚟啊？呢
好搞笑㗎你喎！佢話仲唔俾我，跟住佢話
true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see
佢叫我
commitment,
Stanley
a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the
叫
cost.
我要
Why
勤
don't
力
you go
啲啊
put 20 clicks into door number 417?
！427上面撳20次，OK， 我去揾下。哦。
417定427啊
417，我講錯。
Great. Now, go
佢話
click a few times on door 437.
喺門437撳掣。
Excellent.
佢話
I think we're getting
好，
somewhere. Now
我
door
可能
415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415，跟住撳10次。
其實我唔知佢哋笑咩嘅頭先。阿當勞，我同你一樣。
To door number 437.
我
要翻去437。Hello Ocean，Hello Ocean。
Well, I don't know. The copy machine.
係 printer 上面撳掣。
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
佢話好close 啦。
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
喺員工419嘅台度擒上嚟嘅。
點樣擒上去啊？點樣可以擒上去啊？
Yes, this is great.
佢話
You're putting
好，
all the lines, Stanley. I like that.
好，
All
我
right,
哋
let's
keep
keep
it
it
up
up.
啊，
Go
加
give me a
油
few clicks on door 416.
416。
We've almost got it.
我
Now
哋
the copy machine do that one again.
又翻去 printer。
Hello 啊 Rose。
哦 hi， 喂，哦 hi Rose。
Finish it off, Stanley.
Finish it
Five
off.
clicks on door 430.
5G 430。
Yes, we did it.
Ah!
Oh, wow. That's very amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing.
有咩咁刺激啊？其實，喂，Hello 阿 Tim， 阿 Tim 過咗嚟。
Hi
Only a
Tim，
few
Hi
minutes ago,
Tim，
you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now?
Hi Jackson，Hello。
佢話哦，多謝你解鎖呢個成就。OK， 我哋要去 meeting room 啦。
即係其實佢係咁不斷咁指示你做嘢，你係跟住去做啫，係嘛？
When
咁佢而家
Stanley turned to a set of two
佢而家
open
佢話
doors,
叫
he
我
entered
去
the door and
左邊，不過可以唔遵守。
咁你遵守定唔遵守啊？
我俾你哋揀。
觀眾揀嗱，一就係左邊，二就係右邊啦。
係。
係啦。嗱，佢就叫我哋去左邊嘅，咁睇下觀眾覺得我哋去左定去右啊？ 如果你覺得你哋覺得係去左邊嘅話，即係遵守就打個一字，
嗨跟住。
唔遵守打個二字。Hello 啊，軍曹叔叔啊，
Hello 跟住。Hello。
係啦，
安話二，咁去二咯。
係啊，Donald 都話二啦嚇。
係。
Hello fans，係啦，
OK，我哋去二，我哋去左，我哋唔遵守啊。
我唔遵
This
守
was。not the
佢
correct
話
way to the
唔
meeting
啱，
room,
不
and
過
Stanley knew
Stanley
perfectly
都
well.
知道啊，不
Perhaps he
過
wanted to
佢
stop
可
by the
能
employee
説
lounge
喺
first,
去
just to
employee
admire
lounge
it.
淨係 break room 淨係可以 break room 淨係 admire 啫。
Yes,
啊
truly a room
，yes，
worth
一個
admiring.
好
It had really been
可
worth the
以
detour after all,
worth
just to spend a
admiring
few
嘅
moments here in this
Corner.
immaculate, beautifully constructed
嘅
room.
讚嘅，
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
淨我哋法外法外咩啊？
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the
喂，可以
room.
發
A
吽豆
room
喎
so。utterly captivating that even though all your
係佢
co-workers have
話
mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these
佢話
chairs and some
點解
paintings.
唔揾
Really
我哋
worth
嘅我哋嘅work partner 啊？不過我哋淨係企喺呢度發吽豆
At
啫
this。point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy
佢話
and
我
reflected
哋
poorly on his overall
佢話我
personality.
哋
It's
超
possible
中意
that
呢
this is
個
why
呢
everyone
個
left.
room 淨係就係好 creepy 啊！就係好就係佢話我哋
Stanley
性
sat
格
around
變
waiting for
態
more
啊！
dialogue, but when a long time had passed and
佢
there
話
was no more,
我等
he
緊
decided that the game
佢
was
講
trying to
嘢
send
啊
him a message.
fans 有好多生字，Hello Chris 啊，冇辦法。Hello Chris 啊，嗱本身咧，我今日咧佢同佢哋傾偈嗰陣時咧，就話即係我應承咗阿 Scale download 即係買呢隻 game 俾佢玩啦。咁跟住就佢要求要做直播玩，咁咧就今日有即係我話今日應該夜晚食完飯翻嚟有少少時間可以俾你開台玩嘅。跟住咧，佢哋好躊躇，因為我就話我話希望佢哋玩呢隻 game 嘅時候用中文字幕咁樣。咁跟住咧，但係佢哋咧就話唔得，一定要用英文字幕。我唔知點解啦嚇，我唔知。
因為我啲 friends 都唔
係啊
識啊。
係啦，咁跟住咧，咁我就話你會好辛苦嘅，因為咁淨係你幾個朋友咧睇你個直播嘅時候咧就。佢哋識英文噶嘛，其實咁佢哋會聽得明英文噶嘛。咁但係呢，即係佢有語音講噶嘛。但係我其他嘅觀眾呢就會睇唔明，即係聽唔到咁快嘅英文，因為佢哋英文係母語啊，所以佢哋係聽得好快嘅。咁但係我哋呢就聽得唔夠快，咁我就話我哋啲觀眾可能會唔明你講乜，咁你要全程做足翻譯啦，咁樣咯，係啦，咁樣咯。係啦，咁啊，係啦，阿 Henry 就話一個負責，我開頭係諗住叫佢哋咁樣嘅，咁而家阿 Scale 咧就全程喺度用，即係佢就負責翻譯埋同埋玩埋咁樣咯。好啦，去啊，行啦，繼續啦。
OK，繼
嗱
續。
因為佢哋要求一定要用英文字幕啊，咁冇辦法，
To get back to business.
我都冇計啊，玩係佢哋揸主意，因為佢哋係主持啊嘛，係啦。
即係佢話
阿 Music 啊，不如你試下你負責翻譯得唔得啊？
OK。
阿 Scale 就負責玩啦，好唔好
OK，OK。
阿 Music 嚟，頭先佢講乜嘢啊？
頭先佢話我哋終於離開呢個房，跟住可以繼續嘅，就係佢話係去左邊嗰間房去 get back to business。不過佢我哋去左邊定係前面啊？
哦
我哋
，OK。
左邊定係前面啊？
好啊，好。咁你哋左邊係1，前面係2。OK，各位觀眾投票。如果你想我哋向左行就1啦，向前行就2啦。唔得，我要攞罐嘢飲先。阿皮膚有冇睇緊直播？可唔可以攞罐梳打水俾我？唔該。係啊，睇下啲觀眾點樣揀先。喂，睇下呢隻 game 係冇 background music 㗎，咁靜嘅。
有 background music 嘅，仲未嚟啊！
我仲未開始。
Friends 話1 ，Henry 話2 ，Crazy Playboy 話2，咁佢2，咁最前面啊！
係啊。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible.
即係咩啊？你快啲講啦，快啲講。
佢話我 咧就係 Stanley 即係我哋啦follow 指示太過差，跟住佢話佢覺得我哋冇好耐以前冇被炒魷魚，好驚訝啊！
哦。
佢話唔可以跳落去。
試下跳落去不如。
OK。
In his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the store and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
佢話
Good job,
Hello，
Stanley.
榮少。
Everyone thinks you are
佢
very
佢話
powerful.
佢話我哋
係傻嘅。
佢話我哋傻佬啊，跟住想 control 呢個 game， 所以就跳落去，跟住就死咗。The British accent yes。
佢個鐘係跟翻我哋個時間㗎應該，即係佢而家個鐘啊係跟翻我哋而家個時間㗎。OK， 係咪啊？
係啊。跟住dude that's not available。即係
All of his
Rose
clever
你都可以
efforts
投票啦，
gone.
唔好
What did it mean?
你唔好
Stanley decided to go to the
咁
meeting
晒
room.
啦。
Perhaps he had
Here,
simply
dude.
missed a memo.
It's possible. You can just close the door. Dude, Karen.
阿 wing 冇咁快啊，阿 wing 少冇咁快，起碼都最快都今日禮拜，最快都聽日下
When
晝咯，
Stanley came to a set of
最快
two
最
open
快聽日下
doors,
晝或者
he
夜
entered
晚
the door on his left.
冇咁快。
Okay.
我頭先我今日出咗去食飯啊，同外母係啊。
OK，一定係2啊，就係我哋仲會去 platform 喎。
咁頭先我哋行咗右面啊嘛，
係啊。
今次行左邊啦，
OK。
係啊，今次做啱噶啦，佢嘅指示要我哋行左邊啦。
Yet there was not a single
呢
person
度
here
都冇一
either.
個人。
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
跟
up
住
to his boss's
我
office,
哋好
hoping he
跟住
might find an
Stanley
answer
好
there.
驚訝，所以佢想去check 嗰個 boss 嘅office 啦。
嗯。
Wait, was that the boom close？ 喂，等一陣先。我哋入去，我哋可以入去啊，所以我哋冇話當
Stanley stepped into the
當
broom
冇
closet, but there
驚
was
嚇
nothing
嗰
here,
啲
so he turned
jump
around and
scare。
got back on track.
我哋可唔可以留喺呢度？跟住佢話要出去啊。
There was nothing here, no choice to
呢
make,
度
no
冇
path
嘢
to
，no
follow,
fact，
just
冇
an empty broom
冇
closet.
choice
No
啊嗰
reason to
啲。
still be
跟住
here.
佢話我哋點解仲喺呢度？
咁佢而家係咪叫你出去啊？
係啊
咁你出去啦。
，no。
It was baffling that
Never
Stanley
touch
was still just sitting in the
佢
broom
話
closet.
點解佢喺呢度啊？
At
跟住
least
佢
if
都
there
冇
was
做
something
一
to
啲
interact
嘢
with,。he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
跟住佢話我哋淨係
喂，hello，
喺
helper
呢度做咁冇嘢。
咁你仲唔出去？
Are you really still in the broom closet?
佢話點解我哋仲喺呢度
係
啊
咯，
Why?
？Why？
Please offer me some
點解你
explanation
仲
here.
留喺度啊？
I'm genuinely
跟住佢
confused.
覺得好 confused，點解我哋喺呢度啊？
咁你點解唔出去咧？我想問。
我好中意呢
You
度
do
啊！
realize there's no
佢
choice
佢
or anything
佢話
in here, right?
冇嘢，
If
跟
I'd
住
said
佢
Stanley
walked past the
the
broom
broom
closet，
at least you would have
可
had a
能你
reason
有
for
一個
exploring it
原
to
因
find
喺
out.
exploring
But
度，
it
不
didn't
過
even
冇
occur to
嘢
me
啊。
because literally this closet is of absolutely no
同個
significance to the
故事
story
冇關。
whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
咁我想問下，其實而家係咪即係阿 Stanley 佢做下嘢，跟住全公司冇晒人咁
Maybe
樣？
Yeah.
to you this
突
is
然間
somehow
全公司
its
冇晒人，
own
咁呢個旁述係咩人嚟㗎？
Maybe when you go talk
好
about this
強
with
大
your
嘅人
friends
啊，
or
其
say,
實。
"Oh,
係咩嚟㗎？
佢
did
話
you get the
哦，
broom
可能你
closet
可以
ending?
可能
The
話俾你
broom
嘅朋
closet
友
ending was
演
my
嘅呢個
favourite.
朋友
I hope
嘅，
your
佢話
friends
哦
find
你
this concern.
哦你有冇 get 到個 broom close 掃把 ending 啊？我最中意嘅
Stanley
我
was fat
跟
and
住
ugly and
佢
really, really
佢
stupid.
話
He probably only got the
佢話
job
我
because of a family
stupid，
connection.
佢話
That's
我
how stupid he is.
stupid
It's a
啊，
very
好怪
job,
啊！
isn't he? Also, Stanley is addicted to
咁
drugs.
佢話我好中意毒品啊！
Well, I've come to a
喂
very，
我想
definite
問下
conclusion about what's，
我
going
想
on.
問下而家
佢話我死
Got to this
咗，
broom
嗰個
closet,
旁白嗰個人
explored
係
it,
咩
and
人
were just
嚟㗎？
about to leave
即係而家講緊
because
嘢嗰個
of
人
the
係咩人
when
啊
a？physical malady of some
我想
sort
問下，
shut down your
旁白
central
咯。
nervous system
咁係咩人
and you
啊？
collapsed in front of your
佢
screen.
係
Well, in a
幫我
situation
哋
like this,
佢係幫
the
我哋嘅
responsible thing is to
OK
alert
即
someone
係佢話
nearby
佢話
so
我
as to
哋
ensure
死
that your
咗啊，
body is
跟住
taken care of
跟住
before
佢
it begins
佢
to
話我暈
decompose.
低咗，不過其實我冇啊。
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby, the person at this
係好有個
computer
性
is
啊！我覺得佢哋
佢
都
叫
They have
佢
fallen prey to any number
想
of your
叫人
countless
哋
human
幫我哋
physiological
移走呢個
vulnerabilities.
屍
It's
體。
indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another
佢
human
叫
to
我哋
take
另
their
一個
place,
人
making sure they
玩
understand
啊。
basic first-person
仲
video
有
game
Rose
mechanics
啊
and，filling
我
them
知
in
道
on the history
你
of
覺得
narrative
呢個
tropes in video
旁白好
gaming.
似嗰個 Pet
So
Pet
that
Pig
the
嘅旁
irony
白
and
啊。
insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
添唔好咁樣做啊！
話佢打字都冇用㗎，佢出唔到街㗎。佢亂咁打啲字係出唔到街㗎。
佢叫我出去我就出。
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on
佢
board.
叫我
I
second
guarantee
player，
you can't do
佢
any
以為
worse
有
than
另
the
一個
person
人
who。came before you.
喂，
We can go
有
back
人同你哋 say hi 啊？
係啊，好好做，係
佢係邊個嚟㗎？
好好做啊！
好好 Jo 係邊個啊？
唔知做叔叔咯。
係啦，我哋喺日本見到嗰個 Jo 叔叔啊。
You too?
佢
Unbelievable.
話你都係咁樣。
我想問下你可唔可以推進個故事啊？好悶啊！
OK
係啊，你將個故事推進啦，快啲啦！啲觀眾走㗎啦，你再係咁樣，唔好咬手指 music。
我推進啦。
係啊。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
我
upstairs
哋
to
可
his
以
boss's office.
去上面定係下面咯
上啦。
？OK，上。Is this project stupid? Narrator Rose. Narrator. Oh. 哦，呢度。喂，呢個廁所。
我想問下，而家我Stanley 佢要做啲咩啊？其實
佢想揾有冇人喺
即係嗱，佢即係佢有一日突然間做下嘢，身邊所有人都唔見晒，係咪？
係
跟住佢而家就係想揾翻啲人出嚟，係咪啊
係。
？OK，好啊，即係探索下究竟啊點解個世界突然間冇晒人呢？咁樣係咪？
Stanley was once again stunned to
冇人。
discover not an indication
跟
of
住
any
佢
human
都
life.
好驚訝啦嗰
Shocked,
啲。
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was
跟住
being
佢覺
held
得有
from
一個
him?
秘密啊
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
佢覺
And
得
so
個
the boss had
keypad
assigned it
有
an extra
有個
secret pin number.
哦，
2,
有密碼
8, 4, 5.
2845喎。
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
佢話我唔知道啊，我聽到你啊。stop
2845啊嘛。
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, trying to get incredibly by simply pushing random buttons
佢話
on the keypad.
random 嘢
Stanley
都
happened
有
to
啊。
input the correct
哇！做
code.
乜識晒嘢啊？
Amazing.
佢話我
He
好幸
stepped into
運
the
啊。
newly opened passageway.
佢話我 lucky 啊，不過其實我知道啦，因為佢講㗎。去邊度啊？哦，呢度。
搭 lift 呢個，撳掣咯。
唔制。哦，電梯。
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
就係佢
Why
覺
did
得
he feel this
佢
now,
覺
when
得
for
點
years
解
it had
佢要
never
做呢
occurred
份
to
工
him?
咧？撳下
This
掣
question
啊
would！not go unanswered for long.
跟住佢覺得佢喺呢度做乜嘢啊？點解要撳下掣啊？嗰啲啊！
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
佢話佢就係 mind control facility，即係
中央控制係嘛？
係啊，
中央控
跟住
制中央控制室係嘛
佢
嗰個？
話可以行左邊定係
可以 escape 喎，escape 係 escape 喎可以。咁入去定
行前啦。
就行前啊！Music 話好行前啦。
Rip off with the Rose 唔係 Joy 嚟㗎。哇！發生呢個事㗎。
有個燈掣啊，撳佢啊！
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
就係有
What horrible
電視機
secret
啊
did！this place hold?
佢話
Stanley thought to
有
himself.
咩秘
Did
密
he have the
秘密
strength
咧？
to find out?
跟住佢想揾，不過佢覺得佢冇相信自己，跟住佢 doubt 佢自己可以揾到喎。邊度可以呢度。
Now the
What?
monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
就係
Stanley's
每一間房嘅閉路
The
電視
lives
係
of so many individuals
呢度係
reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
就係佢覺得就係自由都冇嘢啊！就係電梯。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this
就
time?
有人
Was
控
this
制
the only reason
佢
he
啊！
was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been
有間
manipulated
lift
to
落嚟
accept it
喎，可以行去
blindly?
架 lift 度。
就係有人就係佢個 boss 喺度控制佢啊！
No. He refused to
佢-
believe it.
佢
He
話
couldn't accept it.
唔
His
敢
own
相
life
信啊！
in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
跟住
Wasn't it? Was it even
佢
possible?
話係咪
Had he
possible
truly
㗎？
spent his entire life utterly blind to
就
the
係佢
world?
話係咪佢嘅人生都係
But here was the
Mo-
proof. The
對
heart of the operation.
對
Controls labeled with
世界
emotions.
係
Happy
無
or
視㗎
sad。or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded
哦，
from
就
this
係
very
佢嘅 boss
place. And as the cold reality of his past
控制
began to
佢
sink
啊！
in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
佢想熄
For
咗
he
佢啊！
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
就係佢叫我哋熄咗佢啊！
佢識咯咁樣。
我哋可以熄咗佢定係開咗佢？
你自己揀啦。
開咗佢。
啊？哦好啊，你中意惡作劇係嘛？
係啊。
Oh, Stanley.
佢話 Stanley 我
Did you
哋
just activate
冇
the controls, did
activate
you?
㗎。
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for
佢話
yourself. Is that what you
想
want?
控制啊！
Control?
哇！
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to
佢話
let it
叫
go,
我熄
turn
咗
the
佢
controls
啊，跟
off,
住
and
離開
leave.。If you want to
不
throw
過
my
佢話
story
我
off
個
track,
你
you're
想
going
唔
to
想
have to do
抌
much
低
better
我
than
故
that.
事？佢
I'm afraid
要
you don't have nearly the power you
一
think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly
Why?
realized he had just initiated the network's emergency
Could-
detonation system.
Could-
In the event
Could-
that this machine is activated without
就係
proper DNA
佢
identification,
話就係
nuclear detonators are
佢
set to explode,
就
eliminating the
係 set 到
entire
一啲
complex.
炸彈啊，跟住
How long until detonation
佢
then?
想開咗佢
Let's say,
2分鐘到爆炸
this。is making things a
哦
little more
哦
fun. Your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now.
佢話
Shape it to your
佢話
heart's
可以
desires.
做啊，
Oh,
佢
this is
乜
much
嘢都可
better
以
than
啊。
what I had in mind.
佢
What a
中
shame we
意
have so
喎
little time left to enjoy it. Mere
press
moments
buttons
until the
for you.
bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them
Hey.
is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I
撳唔到個紅掣喎你，而家綠色喎要。
What's that? You'd like to know
佢
where
話
your co-workers
佢
are?
話我哋原
A moment of
partner
silence
去咗
before
邊
you're
度？
obliterated. All right,
Go
I'm in a
press
good mood.
on
You're gonna
five.
die anyway.
你撳5下喎應
佢話
該。
佢開心，所以
I
玩個
erased
字。
them. I
前
turned
面
off
喎
the
綠色
machine
蟹。
佢哋係
free.
佢
Of
拆
course,
咗
that was
佢
merely
哋，
in this
佢
instance of the
erase 咗佢
story.
哋啊。
Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a
你
crisp.
撳咗㗎啦，
I have to say
撳
this,
咗
though,
啊。
this version of
冇
events
嘢
has been
喎。
rather
你都
amusing.
冇撳，
Watching you try to make sense of
佢都
everything
冇
and
嗒
take
一
back
聲
the
嗰啲，
control wrested
有啊。
away from you, it's quite rich.
係咪有5個綠色掣啊？
佢話佢
But I'm
想
sure
睇
whatever
我
I come up with
suffer
on
啊
the next
，要
go
go up that
around will
stairs,
be
go up that
even
stairs,
better.
go up that stairs。
My goodness,
佢話
only
淨
34
係有
seconds left.
34
I'm
嗰啦，
enjoying this so
跟住佢話
much.
佢好
You
enjoy
know
喎
what? To hell with it.
誒講
I'm
粗
gonna
口
put，some extra time on the clock. Why not?
佢
These are
俾
precious
俾我
additional
哋
seconds.
更多時間
Time
啊！
doesn't grow on trees.
佢俾我哋更多時間啊，
Oh
不過
dear me, what's the matter, Stanley?
唔係
Is it that
唔
you
係
have no
俾我
idea
哋
where
救
you're
自
going
己
or
㗎，
what you're
係俾
supposed to
佢
be doing
哋
right
佢
now? Or did you
講
just
完
assume when
嘢
you
啊
saw that timer that something in this
Yeah,
room
go
was
on,
capable
Scott.
of
佢話
turning it off? I mean, look at you.
佢話
Running
跑
from
啊
button to
跑啊
button, screen to
啊
screen,
嗰啲
clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these
你
colored
而家揾
ones,
緊
or
咩
maybe
啊
this big
？Scale
red
密碼
button,
想
or this door.
想熄
Everything,
咗佢啊！
anything, something
點
here
撳咩
will
掣會
save
熄啊
me.
我唔知
？Hello 啊，
啊，
Do you think
跟
that's
住
Stanley?
佢話
Hello,
點
Erin
解
Are
會
you game to be
諗
beaten?
可以
One,
熄咗
two.
佢熄咗
Do
佢
you
啊？
have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
佢頭先係
哇
咪叫你
笑
撳？
聲
Stanley.
佢頭先佢係咪叫你撳綠色掣啊？你撳咗未啊？
But
撳
here's
咗
a
啊，不
spoiler
過
for
冇
you.
啊，
That timer isn't a
佢話
catalyst to keep the action
冇
moving
嘢
forward.
可以
It's just
解咗
seconds
佢
ticking
啊，
away to
冇
your
嘢可以
death.
解咗
You're
佢
only
啊，
still
淨係
playing
可
instead
以
of watching
睇
a cutscene
孤
because
零
I
零
wanna
到
watch
睇
you
住
for
我
every
死
moment
啊！
because you're powerless. To see you
但係明明叫你撳5粒綠色掣喎，我見到。
係啊，你睇下，
It's a tragedy.
佢話
You
好
wanted
係
to
tragedy
control
嚟
this
㗎。
world,
哇，
that's
你
fine.
睇下冇嘢啊
而！家撳紫色咯
Destroyed first,
誒，
so you can't.
，Goodbye。
再見
Take a look at
員
the
工
clock,
427。
That's 30 seconds
你
you
個員
have
工
left to
427。
struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then
But-
nothing. No ending.
要啊！
Just
佢話
you being
冇
blown to
ending 喎，
pieces.
淨係
Will
你
you
炸
cling
咗。
desperately to your
佢
frail
話
life?
可唔可以
Or will you
會
let it go peacefully?
就你自己
Another
定係
choice.
會
Make it count. Or
peacefully
dead. It's
去
all the
死啊
same to me. All a part of the joke.
哦
And believe me, I will be
七
laughing
六
at every second
五
of your
四
life.
三
From the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Bye。係啊，再見啦，9527。
咩952真係三
你
係
你
四
你睇，如果你有睇唐伯虎點秋香，就知咩係9527㗎啦。係啦。咁點啊？今次又行咩路啊？
即係嗰個係結局嚟嘅，
哦，即係完咗啦，係嘛？
係啊，跟住
All of his
You can
co-workers
still
were
close
gone.
the door, right?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to
Too
go to the
late.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
由
a
頭玩
moment.
過咯，即係係嘛？
係啊，跟
啊，
住可以行新路啦嗰啲啊。
哦，好啦好啦。
今
When
次
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
行右邊
left.
啦
好啦好啦。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Hey,
Stanley knew it
收
perfectly
聲
well. Perhaps he
I
wanted to
told
stop
you,
by
mate.
the employee lounge first, just to
你
admire
殺
it.
咗我啊！
Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
我哋去前面啦，
頭先係咪去咗左邊？
係
Stanley was so
Hiya.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't
哦
5 years
，OK，
ago.
嗱，今次唔好跳落去啦
OK。
Look,
Now,
Stanley,
Leva.
I
佢話
think perhaps
Stanley
we've
我
gotten
哋
off
可
on the
能
wrong
去
foot
咗 one
here.
去
I'm
錯
not your
嘅
enemy,
path 啊
really, I'm
佢話
not.
我哋唔係佢
I
嘅敵
realize that
人啊。
investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about
等
nothing
陣
but
先，
you
嗰條路可唔
all
可以
this
行
time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
嘿，
Really?
佢話
I
誒
was
我
in the middle
佢
of
話
something.
誒
Do you have
點
zero
解你
consideration for others?
點
Are
解
you that
你
convinced that I want something bad to happen to
斷
you?
我嘅話
Well,
啊，
I
斷
don't know
我
how to
對白
convince
啊
you？of this, but I really do want to help
佢話
you,
佢
to
想
show you
幫
something
我啊，不過
beautiful.
佢話
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
佢話想
Give me a
證明
chance.
佢係我哋嘅 partner 啊。
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
紅色，佢話要行去紅色門，藍色門。
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the
佢話可能你
red
唔明
door.
白啊，佢話紅色門，藍色。
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
冇啊！你啲藍色冇得藍色啊，
Through the red door.
係呢個係藍色。
佢話紅色。
All right, fine, go
佢話
ahead,
好啦
Stanley.
好
You
啦，
want to know
去
so
啦
badly what's out
，Stanley，
there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this
佢
road
想
you've chosen?
佢話你
Well,
係
don't
咪
let
想
me stop
睇
you.
下 N 係？
你不如你試下做個翻譯，你唔使講佢話，你直接當自己係旁白咁講。
OK。
試下，係啊。
You see?
啊，
There's nothing
你
here.
睇下
I
咁。
I
冇
haven't even
嘢
finished
啦。
building this section
係啦。
of the map
睇下
because
我
you were
都
never
冇
supposed to be here in the
冇
first
build
place.
完
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures.
未睇
Is this what you
完啊。
wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story
佢話
I'd
係
written
咪
out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for
好
nothing.
多時
Because
間
this
咁
is
樣
what you wanted to
睇，
see.
你係咪覺
Help
得
me
我
here,
好
Stanley.
係
Help
咪好
elucidate these strange and
lazy
unknowable
啊？
desires of yours. What would have made
呢
this
度係咪
game
掘頭路
better?
嚟啊
What？did you
係啊。
want to see?
行唔到
Vehicles?
咯喎。
Skill trees? Work
佢
with
話
me. You've given me
就係
absolutely nothing so far.
跳落去咯，
Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can
撳
give me
掣
some
跳唔到啊
feedback.？
翻轉頭咯，啊又要行過，
This already feels
有
leaps
有
ahead
第
of
三
where
個
we were
choice
before. Go ahead,
我有橙色
Stanley. Take it for a
嗰邊
spin.
有個木門，
去啦，Stanley。Stanley take it for a spin，我唔知道點翻譯嗰個。
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest.
啦
I'm
Stanley，
looking
可
for
以
some real
rate 啦。
critical feedback here.
就
又
係
揀啦
加個第三個 choice 係點 feeling 噶？第一星定係五星？一二三四。
你揀啦，你自己揀啦，一咯。
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a one? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that?
佢話唔係
I guess it isn't
冇
my
幫
place
到
to
我
judge.
啊！不過我
Here,
都唔可
based
以
on the data
judge
from your
啦。
previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
又翻咗嚟嘅，
嚇！
究竟喺度玩緊咩㗎，大佬？玩咗成個鐘頭都唔知玩緊乜。
乜嘢？
啊！而家喺度做緊咩啊？又哦，你第9000幾位啊？
第爆尾啊我！
你係包尾啊？係咪行得啦？行啦，行啦，又行翻呢度啊？
Now, would you say that competitive
你俾5星啦，
leaderboard
不如
helps
今
you
次。
feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
你俾佢5星啦。
好啦。
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a
Hey,
new game
no,
I've been
no,
working on, and
no,
now would be a
no,
lovely
no.
opportunity to give it some
跟住
playtesting.
佢
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
就有一個新 part 一個
In
game，
this
跟住
game,
佢話
the baby
boot it
crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you
就佢話
fail.
如果
It's a
如
very
果喺
meaningful
個
game,
火度
all
佢
about the
你
desperation
fail
and
啊，
tedium of endlessly confronting the
燒死佢啦。
demands of family life. I think the art world
即係撳掣佢會翻轉頭。
will really take
係
notice.
啊，
But of
唔
course,
撳掣佢
the
又會
message
燒
of
死。
the game
係啊。
only
咁你
becomes
想佢燒死
clear
定係
once
點
you've
啊？
been playing it
燒死。
for about
燒
4
死佢啊！
hours.
可
So
能
why
4個
don't you
鐘頭
give
會
it 4 hours
成
of
功
play
啊！
to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
哦，燒死咗啦！
You heartless
佢
bastard.
佢話我
Did you
佢
do
話
it
講
because you
錯
had babies or
佢話
purely to
我好
spite
heartless
me?
啊！
Because if it's the
佢
latter,
話
I
你
don't
係
know
咪
what
好
to do. I'm
唔中
completely
意
out of
OK
ideas.
Rose
I can't
bye
think of a
bye
single thing that might
不
improve
過
喂，
the
你阿
experience.
阿 Rose 話要
I'm
瞓
not
覺
even
啦
going to。try.
拜拜
I'm
拜
out.
拜。
I'm out. I'm
Goodbye.
done. It's over. Thank
佢話
you for playing.
offer 啊。
Your input was extremely valuable. Oh,
Well,
hey,
thank
since
you
my
for
game is so
playing.
awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
佢話叫我
Let's
玩
see.
另一個
What do we
game 啊
have。here?
Hello，倪生，Hello。
Yes. This seems
TG
like it.
chicken
Let's give it a shot.
又玩過又要。
傳送去邊度啊？吓？邊度嚟㗎？
Fascinating.
佢話
What do you
啊
think this game is
哈
about, Stanley? What's our backstory?
你覺得
What is our
點樣啊？
motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower.
佢話
Perhaps for
就
some
係
sort of twisted
Stanley
erotic
就
purpose.
係玩緊係一個
Yes, that
creepy
must be
嘅
it. What a
man
fascinating
係
venture into the
睇緊
experience
喺
of total
spy 人
mental
哋啊！
depravity. So far, I love
間諜啊！
everything about this
佢話
game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come,
我好
let's
鍾
venture
意呢個
outward
game
and
啊
see what else is out
，Stanley。
there.
嚟啦，我哋出去啦，睇下有咩啊！
點解突然間又去咗呢啲地方㗎？
我唔知我咩 game 啊，我要玩緊咯。
Oh no. No, it can't be.
點解唔係咁樣㗎？
突然間嚟一啲地方嘅，明明喺個 office。
It's an open world game.
係一
Good
個
God, quickly block it
RPG
off.
啲遊戲啊，可唔可以？
哇！
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
佢係咪去咗個咩世界啊？
That thing, that big open,
啲二次
just
元世
wandering
界嗰
around,
啲
no
啊？
right
係
or
啊，
wrong
跟
directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any. Oh,
旁白
thank
唔
heavens
中
we
意
avoided
嗰
it.
啲
We're out of the
RPG
woods
遊
now,
戲，就
Stanley.
係冇
Okay,
choice 嗰
I'm going
啲
to
啊
get。us out of here. Let's find another game.
我哋
Preferably
揾一
something
個
with
另一個
walls.
遊戲啦，
Something with nice,
咁
big,
可能
insurmountable walls.
可能有一個 game 有好有
Okay.
好大
I
嘅
think
牆。
this will be just the thing.
哦，我覺得呢個係 perfect 嘅。
佢又去咗邊度啊？
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I
Wonderful.
had in mind. Just a nice
Kaya,
big
mate.
box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost
Well,
here.
moi-
Now this
呢度
is
唔可以
game
迷路啊！
design.
而家呢
Stanley,
個
if you
係
manage to get
遊
lost
戲
in this game,
design。
I will be phenomenally impressed.
Stanley 如果可以迷路嘅話，我會好驚訝，
Okay,
好
so what
驚訝
exactly
㗎。
do we do here?
我
Let's
哋去
see.
呢度做乜嘢？
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack.
Music.
Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's
係
sports
Stanley，我
ball.
覺得
Oh,
係
what
sports ball
fun.
啊！哦，好
We
好
should run
玩
the bases
啊
and！do a touchdown
Uh,
together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
我唔玩，
咩踢波啊？個波咁大個嘅喂！
我唔玩啊！多謝你，我唔玩啊！直接跳落去啦！
Hold on.
你喺度做乜嘢啊？
呢隻 game 咁跳嘅，唔知自己玩緊乜喎，真係。
啊！
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow
真係
you
唔
there.
可
I
以，
can't help
可唔
you.
可以唔好做
How
咁
will you
咁
write a
樣做
story
啊？
without
點
me?
解
You
你可
can't
以
do it. You
你
know
寫一
that,
個
Stanley.
故事？以前我都冇。
要成隻腳。
Stanley 翻嚟啊！我哋仲有好多停咗。
係咪嘛？
喂，得
又 loading，跟住又唔知去邊，跟住。哇！玩到頭暈啊！呢隻 game，唔知做緊乜喎，玩咗咁耐都，即係冇方向喎呢隻 game。個故事係講乜都未知。
係啊，就係要。
佢飛嚟飛去唔知飛咗乜嘢。其實 MS 係唔跟龐白君要求，所以龐白君用好多方法串緊佢。哦，OK。哦，因為阿龐白佬，即係阿 Music 同 Scale 咧，就完全唔聽阿龐白佬指示，咁所以咧佢而家諗辦法整蠱阿 Music 同 Scale 啦。即係 Matrix 喎，如果我諗咁樣諗係會，即係 Matrix 嚟喎，而家係。
I wonder what he found.
我覺
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now.
哦，我
I
哋唔
wonder if he's
見
happy
咗
with
啊！
his choice. and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close.
梗係啦，你哋完全唔
The
理
end
佢
will，be here soon.
跟住你就亂咁行。
Very soon. I can wait.
佢話我可以等㗎。哦，又一次 reset。See, we have an idea。
你不如試下，俾 music 玩啦。music 跟住個指示做啊。Scale 今次做翻譯㗎啦，OK？
OK。
嚟 music 下。
music 喺度做緊乜嘢？
But Stanley simply couldn't
你
handle
點解
the
閂
pressure.
門啊？
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his
不過 Stanley
responsibility?
都
He had never
承
been
受唔
trained
到
for
佢
that.。No. This
出
couldn't
去
go
啦
anywhere
，music。
except badly. The thing to do now,
出去啦
Stanley thought to
，music。
himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me.
要
Nothing
等啊，
will break
冇
me.
嘢會
In here I can be happy
係傷害咗
forever.
人
I will be
啊！
happy.
喺呢度可以開
Stanley
心嘅
waited. Hours
Stanley-
passed.
Stanley
Then
等
days.
嘅。
Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer.
我冇辦法搞
Now
得
it's
掂，
even
如果咁樣
closer.。Here it comes.
淨係等就有答案。Okay, I'm gonna take this really serious now. Okay, 我而
佢完
家
全
serious
佢又唔肯跟佢咁樣做，都唔知點解。可能隻 game 係要咁樣玩先過癮啦。
Wait,
Oh,
Stanley
that's
thought to
good.
himself.
doesn't see.
Am I sure that the orders stopped
Stop.
coming in?
嗱，阿 Scale，你可唔可以講翻佢要求我哋做乜嘢得唔得？
OK，
係咁，而家個旁白要求我哋做乜嘢？
就係去就係要去個 meeting room 咯。
係咁，你而家去邊 meeting room 啊？係啊，佢要我哋去 meeting room 啊嘛，係
When
嘛？
Stanley came to a set of
講啊
two open
左定右
doors, he entered
旁白
the
要我
door
哋去
with
左定右？
left.
左，佢
梗
要去左。
係啊，咁我去左邊啦，係啊。你係咁死唔係辦法噶喎，係咁 reset 噶喎。
Yet there
嗱
was
呢個
not a
meeting
single
room 啦，係
person
咪？
here either.
冇人。
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
佢咪叫你上去啊？
Taking to a
係
啊上去啊
staircase, Stanley walked
我 skip
upstairs
佢
to
嘅
his
dialogue，
boss's
我
office.
唔 care 啊。
跟住而家
Stepping
點啊
into？his manager's office,
即係要
Stanley was
撳
once
㗎
again
嘛
stunned to discover not an
what was it?
indication of any human life. What could it
2845
mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
旁白
That
講嘢嘅
kind
時
of
間都
anxiety
冇。
isn't healthy.
佢話
So
我
he
哋有
relaxed for a
excite
few
嘅，跟
moments
住
with
佢
some
話
calming
要
new age music.
要聽音樂，聽音樂讓我哋calm down。
因為我哋撳得太快啊。
係啊，因為佢跟住佢覺得我哋好有
Feeling
anxiety 啊，
soothed
有
and
焦慮症。
rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
叫佢入去啊！
跟住咧，上定落啊撳，旁白有冇講啊？
冇啊，即係唔可以上去嘅，淨係可以攞啫。
哦，好啦。
哦，入
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
You're
Mind Control
Ah.
Facility.
我哋又去翻間 control 啊嘛，睇下點樣，有成就啊！
You can't jump。
係啦。
Seriously, we disabled it。我淨係撳 A 做喎，我淨係撳 A 做喎。
唔係嗰個係成就嚟嘅，你唔使理佢講乜㗎，個成就。成就個名嚟嘅。
Like I kept trying to
Did he have
do
the
this.
strength to find out?
They just thought he was like, you can't jump. They just thought I want to jump.
跟住呢度咧，撳晒佢啊！
係啊，撳。
Now the monitors jumped to life,
Oh my
their
God,
true
it's
nature
vibrating.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation controls labeled emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would
Hello 啊，契弟啊！
佢對我哋好嬲，所以就
炸死你啦！
係啊，熄咗佢喎。
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
都係
Was it over?
係咪完咗啊？
我唔知你喎。
Yes. He
係
had
啊，
won.
佢贏
He
咗
had
啦。
defeated the machine.
Hello Kenny。
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
自由嚟啦！
Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building
有
hold?
天空喎，
But
出
as
邊
sunlight streamed into the chamber, he
打開緊
realized
咁樣
none of
喎。
this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had
睇
not
唔
been
到
to
啊！可唔可以
understand.
可唔可以快
but to
啲
let
啊？
go.
哦，佢
No longer would anyone tell him where to go,
冇
what
人
to
去
do,
邊
or
會
how to
叫佢
feel.
邊度啊？
Whatever life
做
he
嘢啊
lives,？it will
跟
be
住佢嘅
his.
生活係佢
And that
㗎，
was all he needed to know.
跟住
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
我覺得係 Matrix 嚟呢個。
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
我唔知啊，我唔知係咩 game 嚟啊，Chris。
Right now,
唔係恐怖 game 啊，其實係恐怖搞笑 game。
was
恐怖
happy.
搞笑 game。
Stanley 係開心啊！
點話刪咗之後跟住完啊？咪先係咪唔係玩完係嘛？咁就 complete 喎。
冇玩完啊，有其他㗎，
又玩過？
有其他結局
How long was
㗎，
I sitting there?
哦，
Stanley wondered to
咁你
himself.
玩咗幾多個結局啊？而家
Days?
好似
Centuries?
4
Did
個
something。crucial happen while my senses were turned?
哦
He，made a note to be more
頭先就
careful
完全
time
跟足
from
晒
now
指示
on.
做啦，
係
係嘛
啊，係啊，
？OK，
我唔
係啊
跟指示。
哦，
我又知，我有嘢。
我知啦，即係頭先就完全跟晒指示做，咁啊
Stanley
完
came
咗
to a
啦個
set of 2
game。
open doors.
哦，
He entered the door on his left.
total 有19個 ending。
係啊
OK。
就係
一個極短嘅遊戲喎，跟住你要玩，
person here
又要玩咁多個 ending 出
Taking
嚟。
away
安其實冇
Stanley decided
唔係
to go up to
19
his
㗎，
boss's
其實
office, hoping he
我
might
哋而家
find an
玩
answer
緊
there.
嘅，其實
你行落去咯，試下。
Coming
其
to
未
his
試向
可唔
下
可以唔好玩住啊？就係我想解釋一啲嘢，就係 The Stanley Parable。我哋而家玩嘅係 The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe，就係一個 remake， 跟住有一個舊版嘅，跟住嘅舊版要10個 ending，19個 ending， 跟住而家我哋玩緊嘅有好多個嘅，就係如果我就係如果解到一個 ending， 我哋可以去到有一個門叫做 New Content， 就係如果行入去就可以玩 The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe， 就係有我唔知道40幾個 ending 啊。
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Stanley
He
都
might be
唔
fired
可
for
以
that. And in such a
去啊
competitive economy,
佢
why
驚
had he
啊！
taken
佢
that
好
risk?
驚
All
一
because
見
he
到佢嘅
believed
boss 就
everyone had
boss
vanished.
就
His
可能
boss
佢
would think he was
會俾
crazy.
人炒魷
And then
魚啊！
something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to
可
himself,
能
maybe
佢
I am
可能
crazy.
佢
All
可
of
能
my
我黐
co-workers
線
blinking
㗎。
mysteriously out of existence
全
in
部
a
我嘅
single
web
moment
partner
for no
就
reason
全
at
部
all.
都
行
係
嚟去都係呢條
It
路
made
嘅喂。
no logical sense. And as
哦
Stanley pondered this, he began to make
Stanley
other
諗，佢
strange observations.
佢
For
用好
example,
奇怪嘅
why couldn't he
observation，
see
點解
his feet
佢
when he looked
下面
down?
唔可以睇
Why
佢
did
腳
doors
嘅？
close
點解
automatically behind
點
him
解
wherever he
誒
went? And for
門可
that
以自己
matter,
閂
these
門
rooms were
嘅？
starting to look
跟
pretty
住呢
familiar.
啲
Were
房
they
可
simply
能
repeating? No,
點
Stanley
解
said to
會
himself,
repeat
this is
嘅？
all too
唔
strange.
係
This can't be real.
係
And
呢
at
啲
last,
全部
he
都好
came to the
奇怪
conclusion
啊！
that had been on the
呢
tip
個
of
唔
his
可以真
tongue.
嘅。
He just hadn't found the words for
你
it.
咁又兜圈咗喎，Music。
Dream!
佢覺得佢只有發問，
This is
呢
all a
個係一個
dream.
夢嚟咋
What a
啊！
relief Stanley
真係一
felt
個
to have finally found an
一
answer,
個
an
relief 啊
explanation.
！Stanley 嚟
His
揾到一個答案。
co-workers
Music 停一停，呢度轉右啊！
He wasn't going to lose his
右
job.
邊啊，唔係
He
左
wasn't
邊啊，係啊呢
crazy
度
after all.
入去啦，
He
係
thought to himself,
我入唔到啊！
I suppose I'll wake up soon.
可能
I'll
我
have to
會
go back
呢度
to
兜
the
圈啫
old
喎，而
life
家。
job pushing
起身
buttons.
啊！
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined
Hey.
himself flying and
呢
began
條
to
左邊有
gently
啲咩啊？
float
唔
about.
係，唉，
佢
超過啦。
imagine 佢自己飛啊，
Then he
跟住
imagined
佢
himself
imagine
soaring
佢
through
自己。
space
喂
on a
喂，我嘅
magical
真係飛
ship.
喎！喂，我係飛喎！
Yeah,
係
it
一
was
個
so much fun, and
好
Stanley
好玩啊！
marveled
跟
that
住
he had still not woken
跟
up.
住
How
仲未
was he
仲未
remaining so
起身啊
lucid?？
點解
And
佢
then perhaps
咁
the
好似咁
strangest
真
question
嘅？
of them all
跟住有一
entered
個
Stanley's head.
個好奇怪
One
嘅
he
問
was
題，有
amazed
一
he
個
hadn't asked himself
佢
sooner.
好。
Why
佢驚
is
訝
there
佢
a
唔
voice
可
in
以
my
答案，
head
點解有
dictating
嗰
everything
個
that I'm
聲喺
doing
我
and
嘅頭
thinking?
入面，
Now
全部
the
講
voice
緊
was
我喺度
describing
講緊
itself
嘢
being
同埋
considered
諗
by
嘅嘢
Stanley,
咧。
who found it particularly strange.
跟住
I'm dreaming about a voice describing
我
me,
夢到
thinking
一個
about how it's describing my
一個
thoughts,
聲
he thought.
and
And while he thought it
形
all
容
very
我啊，
odd
佢
and
話，
wondered if this voice spoke
跟
to
住
all
佢覺
people
得
in
好
their
好
dreams,
奇怪啊，
The truth
點
was
解
that, of course,
點解會
this was not a dream.
呢個
How could it
嘅
be? Was
真
Stanley
相
simply
就
deceiving
係
himself,
佢
believing that if
唔
he's
係一個
asleep,
夢
he doesn't have to take
點解
responsibility
佢
for
係
himself?
咪 Stanley
Stanley is as
自
awake
己
right
做
now
假啊？
as he's ever
我想
been
問，
in
仲要
his
彈
life.
幾耐啊
Now
我唔知。
hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
聽到佢
music
聲
的
就好
呢個係
驚訝
而家講緊嘢嗰個係
But this
scale 嚟
was
嘅
in。fact a dream.
平時
The
點學
voice
英文
did seem
YouTube 咯
flow，to make the magical stars just a moment
係啊
ago.
YouTube
How
學英
else
文
would
咯。
the voice
佢
explain
哋
all
兩個都
that?
係。
This voice was a part of
呢個
himself
聲
too.
係
Surely,
佢自
surely,
己啊
if he could just,
佢
he would prove it.
佢會證
He
明
would
嘅，
prove that
佢
he
會
was
證
in
明呢個
control,
係佢
that this
係
was a dream.
control，佢證
So he
呢個
closed
係
his
一個
eyes.
行夠未啊？
He invited himself to wake up.
啊，終於合埋眼啦，黐
The
線！
weight of the blanket on
行
his
咗幾
skin,
十個圈，
the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to
我起
himself.
身啦，佢
I'm
話
through
佢
with
話
this
俾佢自
dream.
己，
I wish it to be over.
我希望
Let me
呢
go
個
back
夢
to
會
my
結
job.
束。
Let me
可唔
continue
可以
pushing
做
the
嘢啊？
buttons.
我可唔可以
Please.
撳
It's all I
撳
want.
翻掣啊？我
I
淨係
want
想
my
要我
apartment
想要我
and my wife
一個
and
一
my
個公
job.
寓啊！我想要
All
我
I
嘅
want is my
我
life
嘅老婆
exactly the
啊，
way it's
想要
always
嗰
been.
份工啊。
My life is normal.
我人生係正常嘅，我係正常，全部嘢會係 會 OK 嘅，我好 OK。
誒，麥蛋又喺呢度。
Stanley began screaming.
Stanley 嗌啦，開始嗌啦！誒，有人我係真㗎，我係真㗎，我真係真㗎，可唔可以有人聽我聲啊？我係邊個？我係邊個啊？跟住全部嘢黑晒。呢個係一個故事，叫做。一個女仔叫做 Mariella。Mariella
woke up on a day like any other. She rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And though she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself, I am sane. I am in control.
你撳咗掣啊？撳翻 B 掣啊 ？B 係啦。A 啊。
我係 sane，
I know what is real and what
我知
isn't.
道係真嘅。
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
你喺度睇緊嗰陣時，跟住佢走咗。
佢英文係叻啊，不過中文唔叻啊。係啊，佢啲廣東話都未學得好，所以佢知道晒嗰個 meaning 嘅。
Skill 翻，
我又嚟過喎。
喺度翻譯出嚟嘅達哥級數。
佢讚阿 Chris 哥哥讚你啊，話你好叻啊翻譯，係啊話你翻譯好叻啊。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
我哋玩埋呢次收台啦嚇，玩埋呢個結局，跟住我哋下次再玩咯。點解會有小朋友哼歌嘅？
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided
佢梗係想開晒所有 ending 啦，點樣開得晒啊？幾廿個 ending， 今次行上邊咯佢。除咗呢度，除咗撳掣之外，仲有冇其他嘢做啊？今次唔同咗喎。
因為佢已經受夠講呢個嘢3次、5次啦。
哦，跟住直接當你撳咗掣啊？
係啊。
Speed one 所有 ending 啊，冇得 speed one 啊。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the
今次 escape 啦，
mind control facility.
係啦，未試過行 escape 啊。
不過呢個 條路有 escape 呢個字，不過佢個 Stanley 會死嘅喺呢條路上面。
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
唔會閂嘅。我唔去。
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Stanley 好有自信，佢就好有自信行去佢嘅呢個死亡。
有窿喎！哇！啪！ 哇！誒咩嚟啊？
As the machine whirred into motion, Stanley was inched closer and closer to
該
the
死啊！該死啊！
He reflected that his life had been of no
咩嚟㗎？
consequence
夾夾
whatsoever.
喎！
係啊，佢夾死我啊！
你喺佢未夾埋之前走過咪得
我
咯？
走唔到啊！你睇下我走唔到啊！
跳啦！
跳唔到啊！啊！
Plucking the eyeballs from
避
her
開
eye.
咯！
避唔
So
到
he
啊！
resigned and willingly accepted his final
佢就
end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell,
啱
Stanley.
啊！
再見啊，Stanley。
誒
Farewell, Stanley,
冇事喎
cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous
女仔
metal
旁
jaws.
白。
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Stanley 個骨全部斷晒，就死咗。嚇！
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in
But
his
Stanley
office,
would-
as alive as ever.
你淨係會
What exactly
restart，
did the
跟住
narrator think he was going to
旁白
accomplish?
旁白覺得佢Stanley 真係唔會真係會死啫。等一陣先，嗰個女仔旁白救咗我哋喎。
係喎，
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance,
有間新嘅
death
office 添
becomes
喎，
meaningless,
仲咁靚。
making life
誒
the
唔
same.
係 office 嚟㗎，
係
咩嚟㗎
係博物館
Do you
嚟。
see
博物
that
館啊
Stanley was already
Okay.
dead from the
Stanley
moment he
係
hit
淨係
start?
已經死咗啦，你
哦
咗啦，你開始嗰陣時佢已經睇嘢先。等一陣先，佢對我哋講嘢，唔係對 Stanley 講嘢，係對我哋講嘢啊！
哦，好啦，
即係佢話Stanley 都一直都唔喺度啊！我哋係 Stanley 啊，就係Stanley 係佢自己啊！
完啦隻 game，即係佢話有啲博物館係 show 翻俾你睇啫嘛。嗱，你睇個 credits 啊，有 credits 喎呢度，寫嘅 game 嘅人喎。係啊，你去咗個 boss office。
其實仲有多啲㗎。Freedom ending。
哦。夜啲唔會有人中之龍啦，好攰啊！哦，超攰啊！聽日啦，聽日開翻正常直播，聽日玩人中之龍。聽日瞓醒，跟住食完飯翻嚟剪片咯，剪到咁上下。或者我唔知我今晚會唔會剪啊？我唔知。我頭先剪咗幾分鐘咯，即係剪咗我都唔知有冇幾分鐘喎，三分鐘到咯，剪咗，即係剪咗第一條片嘅頭嗰3分鐘，係啊，頭嗰3分鐘剪咗少少，剪咗個即係整咗一個 intro 咯，即係我自己整咗一個爽皮關西嘅 intro 咯，咁樣咯，整個 intro 都整咗兩粒鐘，係啊。
Supposed to be like here.
而家呢度係睇隻 game 邊啲人寫啊嘛，係嘛？
Stanley pushed the number 6.
又翻嚟咯喎，冇咯喎，跟住咧，
Let's see. Stanley walked through the green door. The big red button.
係啊，
Where were
聽晚大家唔使出街，我哋情人節啦係嘛？你講皮膚人，唔知佢哋啊，我唔知佢哋啊。
Dude, don't you have to manually
阿 Kenny 係啊，臨過日本之前收到部 Pocket 係啊，臨飛嗰一日收到。
Look at these two.
Oh,
How they
Teddy
wish to
兩個啦。
destroy one
你
another.
睇我
How they wish to control one another.
因為有個
How
識
they
人
both
哋
wish
攞
to be
係啊，
free.
臨飛嗰一日收到部機。 你開啊！開咗咩啊？
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one
係咪
another?
你仲對知
Perhaps
需
not.
要嘅
Sometimes these
自己
things cannot be seen.
Hello，Hello，
But listen to me.
又去翻呢個夾夾嘅。
You
佢
can
話
stop
你
the
可以
program before they
program
both
before they both
fail.
fail。
Turn off your Xbox. There's no other way. to
Turn off your Xbox。
Stop now and it'll be your own.
咁就唔使俾人夾啊 ！Turn off your Xbox 就唔使俾人夾啊，唔係嘛
Don't？ let time choose for you.
夾，變咗。冇啊，冇開唔切拍唔切開箱片啊，因為臨飛嗰日先至收到，所以拍唔切開箱片，打開咗嗱嗱聲開咗佢，跟住就拍嘢啦，係啊，冇咩好開箱嘅啫，部嘢裏邊咩都冇，一部機啫嘛，係啊。
佢殺咗我哋。
你拍片嘅體驗，你咪睇我旅行片咪知啊！拍啲嘢出嚟靚唔靚？係啊，啲夜景靚唔靚啊？好啦，完啦，OK，等一等啦。好啦，等陣先，唔好撳掣，停住。好啦，咁啊，今晚直播差唔多啦，嚟到呢度啦。咁我想問下你兩位，Music 同 Skill 隻 game 好唔好玩啊？
好玩，
好玩啊！你真係覺得好玩？有咩咁好玩呢？你覺得咩地方令到你覺得好玩呢？
就係即係
對住支咪講，對住唔好對住我講。
character 就係就係個旁白，就係佢好搞笑。
哦，旁白好搞笑，哦好啦，咁好唔好用？非常之好用啊 ，Candy。Hello， 皮 Sir 啊，Music 同 Scale。咁呢個直播呢嚟到呢度先啦，咁你睇下，多謝翻有份留言嘅朋友先。
多謝 Ming， 多謝。
對住支咪講啊。
多謝 Ming， 多謝 Victor， 多謝真小阿星，多謝星登。
係小那星人啊，係。
Eric， 多謝安，多謝 Donald， 多謝 Ocean， 多謝 Rose， 多謝 Tim， 多謝 Jackson， 多謝關草。多謝 Friends， 多謝 Crazy Playboy， 多謝 Henry， 多謝 Wing 少。
仲有咧？
Wing 少多謝 Pad Helper。
係 PAD Helper。
PAD Helper。
係啦。
多謝 Ho Ho Show。多謝 Edwin。多謝 Victor。多謝 Ken。多謝風間蒼月，多謝 Kenny， 多謝 Chris， 多謝 Little Fly Ado，
跟住睇我 mom， 我問我 mom，
多謝 Pacer，
多謝皮夫人，
多謝 Mancock Lie。
係啦，多謝晒大家。咁今晚個直播嚟到呢度啊，咁俾佢哋兩個玩咗一晚呢個，我覺得係我哋俾嘅 Music 同 Scale 玩咗一晚嘅。係啊 ，Hello Kelvin 啊，多謝晒。
多謝 Kelvin。
係啦，多謝 Kelvin。咁我哋咩啦？我哋下次 YouTube 排育成計劃，佢哋話要玩啊。係啊，全個直播最難就係呢個部分啊，讀名呢個部分。差唔多啦，咁咧今晚嚟到呢度，多謝晒大家收睇史丹利的寓言。咁希望下一次直播佢哋又會做得順啲啊。係啊，我就睇唔明啦。但係咧，即係嗱，我應該總括嚟講咧，嗱，我試下講少少啦。我覺得佢係有少少 Matrix 咁樣嘅故事。咁佢就有，總之阿 Stanley。突然間有一日做下嘢，叭一聲，所有人唔見晒。咁然之後呢，佢就會出現一個旁白喺阿 Stanley 嘅耳邊嗰度講，就出現叫佢點做。跟住佢跟佢點做，跟住佢就會一路跟住佢點做又得。每一個提示你唔做又得，係每一個提示都有分支，然後得出幾十個唔同嘅結局咯。係啦，咁樣咯，即係就係咁樣，就係一個咁樣嘅 game 咯。咁你做又會 即係譬如佢叫你行左，你行右，或者你又會出第二個支線，你行左邊，跟住下低又有一支線，即係每一個 step 都有得俾你 choice 嘅。咁你揀咗唔同嘅 choice 就會有唔同嘅結局咯，就係咁樣咯，我覺得一隻咁樣嘅遊戲咯，咁樣都幾得意嘅，係啊，即係因為我哋唔係我哋嘅母語啊，英文唔係我哋嘅母語啊，咁所以可能係就係因為咁樣，所以就會我哋唔知道玩緊乜啦，但係我兩個女肯定知道玩緊乜嘢啊，因為同埋佢哋玩得好開心添，就係咁啦。
其實music 想講一個嘢就係嗰個女性旁白就係你記唔記得佢話熄咗你嘅 Xbox 就係如果你喺Nintendo Switch 啊或者嗰啲PS Station
佢就會叫你熄嗰一個機嘛。
係啊。
OK， 好啦，咁差唔多啦，咁下次睇下有冇機會再玩啦，又或者睇下兩個女主持下玩咩嘅。喂，其實有觀眾問呢，之前有觀眾問我哋 Music 同 Scale 會唔會繼續玩呢個初音咁樣嘅，有觀眾問過嘅咁樣咯。你哋睇下考慮下會唔會再開初音啦？如果你哋想開嘅話，你話聲俾爸爸聽，睇下我又安排下啦，咁樣啦。好啦。咁今晚直播嚟呢度，多謝晒大家收睇。Music 同 Scale 同大家，
拜拜。
收台要同大家講咩啊？記住要咩啊？記住要做咩㗎？
要 like 同 subscribe， 跟住拜拜。
好啦，拜拜，係咁先。
拜拜。
禮拜3聽日再見，拜。